The line at the New Hampshire Film Festival snakes down Congress Street. Movie buffs waiting to see local filmmakers Samuel and Dan Habib's documentary, The Ride Ahead.
All right. Let's do it, Samuel.
Hi everyone. My name is Samuel Habib. My pronouns are he and him. I am the co-director of The Ride Ahead. I work part-time at the Westchester Institute for Human Development and Like Right Now Films. Thanks for coming today.
There's my brother, Isaiah, aka the Big Kid. I never know what he's going to do next. My mom, Betsy, is really good at telling funny family stories. That's my dad, Dan. He loves planning trips and checking out new cities.
4 years in the making, the Concord father and son filmmakers hope this documentary will help improve the world for disabled people.
If I had the chance, I would never take away my disability. It's made me who I am. And I like who I am. I don't need to be cured. But there are some things that get in the way of me living my life.
We caught up with the filmmakers at Samuel's home in Concord to talk about what led them to make The Ride Ahead and what they hope their audiences will take away from the film. Samuel lives with a rare neurodevelopmental disorder known as GNA01. He communicates with his voice, gestures, and a communication device. We provided our questions to him ahead of time so he and his dad could program in his responses.
I was in general education classes all the way through school, and I had a lot of friends and was part of clubs and sports. But things felt confusing after I graduated. I wanted to go to college, date, get a job, live on my own. But no one tells you how to be an adult, let alone an adult with a disability. I suggested an idea to my dad, who is a filmmaker. How about I interview badass adults with disabilities about their transition to adulthood? Disabled people should have their voices heard and we should be able to tell our own stories.
From the very beginning of production, we committed to hiring a majority of our film team as be disabled people. So the majority of the outreach and production crew are disabled, and that was a commitment we made from the very beginning. So we would, for every job, we would research and find the most talented disabled creatives to fill the role as much as we possibly could.
This isn't Dan or Samuel's first film. Dan has produced other award-winning films on disability-related topics, but this was Samuel's first time directing a documentary film.
Setting up and getting all of the interviews done was the most challenging part of creating the film. We had a lot of misadventures during our travels. Without my wheelchair, I have no freedom. I can't go anywhere. I can't do anything. Don't they get that?
We have to file a claim for wheelchair damage.
I mean, Dan is part of a larger philosophy in our family that we would kind of call the dignity of risk, and you need to take risks to live a full life. So this film was designed in part as a vehicle for Samuel to get out in the world, have adventures, meet really cool people, learn from the disability community, and like live the full life he wants to live.
The film took about 4 years to make, thanks in part to COVID. But Samuel and Dan worked together to patiently put all the pieces together to create a meaningful film with a message.
The interviews were awesome. They blew my mind. I reviewed the best sections from the interviews with my dad and we picked out the most powerful lines.
So we went at Samuel's pace, and if it took him an hour to dictate out a sentence, it would take an hour. And when we did the questions for each interview subject, we would take at least a week, if not more, for Samuel to slowly and us together to think about and work up the questions.
What is the biggest risk you have taken in your life?
But Samuel is the most persistent and patient person I've ever met in my life. So one way or another, you will get your point across. You just need people around you who are ready to be patient.
Samuel took the year off college to launch The Ride Ahead, but plans to transfer from NHTI, where he has a 3.0 GPA, to Southern New Hampshire University. The film has already moved audiences around the globe, even earning an Emmy for the short film version of the documentary. Samuel says he is just getting started.
I dream about traveling around the country and the world. I want to go to the Football Hall of Fame in Ohio, the Negro Baseball League Hall of Fame in Kansas City, London, and Europe. I want to experience going hunting, scuba diving, and continue building an RC boat collection. I also think a lot about getting married, maybe having kids, and making more films. My life can be complicated. So much can go wrong with my health, or my chair, or how people treat me.
This process of working together on a project as for father and son for the last 4 years has been by far the most gratifying thing I've ever done in my career. It's been so fun and so fulfilling and so meaningful. And also, it feels like the right time to support Samuel and other people with disabilities be the lead storytellers.
I think Samuel, believe that the world can be a better place than it is and that you're going to make a difference. I think that's really fundamentally important, that you believe very much that you can make a difference. I know you can, because I know you are.
Thank you.
Thank you.